SciTech Nutrition. Premium quality products. State-of-the-art look. Uncompromised ingredient quality. Our products work and taste good. www.scitechnutrition.com.
Johnny Styles here with RxMuscle.com. We're here in Prague with Chris, the technician Aceto, part of Team RX Muscle, Team Aceto. We're here, made it from Dubai, from Spain. Now we're here in Prague. As you can see, billboard right behind us with Flex Lewis and Kai Green. We have Pro Open, Pro 212, and Bikini. Let's start with Pro 212. We have Flex Lewis coming in against Jose Raymond, which, you know, Baito Avasport is here too. We saw a video on the RX Muscle website where they did Korea, and Jose looked incredible.
Yeah, I think it's this is the third go around for these guys. You know, Jose was third at the Olympia. Of course, Flex won, and Flex was the winner in Korea.
Flex says he was sick.
Yeah, he was sick at the Olympia, and I don't think he quite recovered in Korea. So, you know, because of that, you know, I mean, I think those two shows, I wouldn't say clearly, but you know, Jose's packing probably more muscle now per square inch and just more density and condition than anyone in the 212, or maybe not everyone in the 212, but Flex. So it's going to come down to, and what it's come down to, the war of density and just gnarliness versus Flex's height, width, and lines.
We saw Jose in the Olympia, and then people thought, can he get better? He got better in Korea. Yeah. Do you think he can get even better as his coach? Yeah,
you know, this is the day before the show, and he is definitely at his all-time best for sure, no question about it. That doesn't mean he'll be his all-time best tomorrow. You know, I mean, it most likely means that, but anything can happen. You know, he could overcarb, undercarb, drink too much water, not enough water. You know, sometimes it comes down to luck the last 24 hours. But he looks great, and you know, he's really ready to battle, because he is a battler. He's a competitor. He loves bodybuilding. He's not afraid of Flex. That's for damn sure. But he respects Flex. You know, they have a great, you know, little rivalry going. Right. Because you know, if you ask Flex, I mean, if you ask Jose, you know, whose physique do you really prefer? Whose physique do you like in bodybuilding? He always says one of the top right off, including Open, 212 is, I love the way Flex looks. So there's a very strong, healthy camaraderie and aggressive competitorship versus what we saw at the Olympia 2 weeks ago.
Phil and Kai.
Yeah, it's a little bit opposite. I mean, there's a competitorship there, whatever you call it, but a rivalry. But it's turned the corner, so to speak.
Yeah, Baito Avasport is here as well. What do you think he needs to improve on to battle those two guys?
You know, he just needs to come in like he came in Korea, you know, or where he came in at the Olympia, which was absolutely incredible. His all-time best. It looks like he's finally got comfortable in the 212, meaning he's at a weight that he doesn't look flat. He's at a weight where he's really tight. I mean, he made the adjustment coming down a little bit, from what I hear. You know, he's dropped the weight to make the 212s, and sometimes it doesn't really work. So coming off Korea, he probably has a lot of confidence. You know, he's just going up against, of course, you know, 2 or 3 time, whatever, Flex Lewis, and the best Jose Raymond we've seen in a long time. So
let's talk about Guy Cisternino, one of your clients as well. He's here. How do you think he looks?
I think he looks good. You know, I have to see him on stage next to, you know, people with more width, which would be, of course, I'm talking about Flex, and more muscle, which would be Jose. I think he'll be in there for the battle. I don't know who else is in the 212. It's a deep lineup, and these 212 guys, everybody knows it. Everybody talks about it as the 212 guys are outrageous. That's not to say that the Open is not outrageous. It's just that they've really, from 4 years ago, when it started as 202, they've really upped the ante in terms of level of muscularity, detail, conditioning. It's an exciting division to watch.
Seems like men's physique guys and 212 guys always come in shape.
Oh, men's physique, forget it. They're the most conditioned guys around. Yeah, women's bodybuilding and men's physique, they're like peeled.
Women physique girls even look good. All right, let's move on into the Pro Open, which Kai Green is here. It's been a mystery whether he's going to compete or not. He's been here for a week, I believe. And then we have Sean Roden coming back. We have Dexter Jackson, Dennis Wolf. We have all these guys in the mix here. Victor Martinez is here as well. What do you think is going to happen now with Kai?
I ate some rice. One of the competitors told me they were allergic to rice. It's true.
There's an allergy going around.
So I think I'm okay though.
So we think you're okay. So what's going to happen between Wolf, Sean Roden?
It's another shootout. Anything can happen. Dennis Wolf is consistently up and down. Dennis Wolf's an unbelievable bodybuilder. He's a fabulous bodybuilder. I love his physique. He has so many different looks. He has a look that's blasting full, which a lot of people like. His extremely full, spilled over look is probably his most impressive look. But the judges kill him because they say, we'd like to see tighter glutes and hams. And then sometimes when he tries to chase the glutes and hams, which he's brought in at times peeled, he loses the wow factor. In Spain, I thought he was like a happy medium to that, a little bit on the flat side. So he has a lot of wiggle room to do a lot of damage because he has width in the lineup, and even if he's flat, he still has that over everyone. He's got a lot of width. He's got the flare to the thighs. He's extremely dangerous in this lineup.
Coming from Dubai, we had a symmetry matchup between Dexter Jackson and Sean Roden. It's back to the 90s.
Yeah.
Do you think that's gonna affect? Like, Sean's waist is gonna make Kai's waist look insane?
I think for this show, I'm guessing the lineup would err towards more mass, meaning Wolf, Kai, and as we saw a couple days ago, Sean's not sporting, a small amount of muscle. So I think those are the three guys to look out for in terms of, who the front runners will be. But you never know. The flight, one thing that we do know and have learned from these shows is the travel, which you and I have been traveling. We're dead tired. It affects the athletes too, where
one person, we are all affected by it, but one person who's gotten progressively better, and people want to know your opinion on it, is Ruli Winkler. Show after show after show, Ruli Winkler is getting very better, and people like him.
Ruli Winkler probably has the best arms in bodybuilding. Like if you chopped off the arms and shoulders, I saw him in the gym last night, and they look like that cow without the myostatin gene. Where that supplement company used to. That looks like his shoulders and arms. He gets better and better. It's funny, he used to get worse and worse on the tour.
Right.
So now he's getting better and better.
Do you think Victor will match up against him now?
I think they both
will be a matchup between them two.
I think it will, because it was a matchup between them, sort of for the change in positions in Spain. Both of them have a ton of muscle. Victor has more flow, quote flow, but you can't deny Raleigh's freak factor. I mean, he's probably right now, he's the pure freaky muscle. He's definitely the freakiest guy in the IFBB. And like I said, I saw him in the gym at 2 o'clock in the morning last night, and you really don't have to see anyone else to just say, okay, nobody can be freakier than that, with the exception of maybe Rami in terms of, and I don't even think Rami has those shoulders and arms.
Wow. So now we also have Johnny Jackson in the show. We have Daniel Toth, which Chris already told the famous quote, he ate 20,000 carbs and spilled none.
Yeah, and spilled none. He was fabulous in Orlando. Orlando was a long time ago, April. What happens is, for a lot of people, is hard to know
to maintain all that?
Either how to know how to maintain it, or you self-doubt enters, like, okay, I didn't place as high as I probably should have, or thought I should have in Orlando. What can I do better? And inevitably, people think, you've got to get more ripped and they come in flat, or got to get more full. That's just the way it works.
Johnny Jackson.
Johnny Jackson's going to struggle in this lineup only because this is an Olympia lineup. Right. Any other lineup, Johnny Jackson is a factor in, but when you have the likes of Kai, Roden, Wolf.
We're missing one person that's been traveling
Riley,
with us, Juan Morel.
Juan Morel, this is,
He said he just told us he's back to his Olympia weight. So that's
Well,
for him. He says that's the best ever.
I think Juan will struggle here only because
It's an Olympia lineup.
it's an Olympia lineup. He still needs to work on his legs, and I think he's like everyone else. They underestimate what they actually look like with the fatigue factor of. It's hard to explain how tired these guys, how tired we get, how tired these guys get. The travel is so intense. We're traveling 12 hours every third day on flights. By the time
8-hour flights.
Yeah, 8 hours. Well, we did a 7 and a 2 the other day. So plus we had, So what happens is inevitably you might get on the scale and say, okay, I'm at my Olympia weight, but that's not necessarily an indicator of what you really look like just because you're so tired from coming off all these shows and travel. So
And one last person, Mr. Olympia, Dexter Jackson, which seems every time he comes to these shows, he can sneak in at any moment and win the show.
yeah, well, he's
still the blade for all the
and
reasons.
he won in Dubai, so he beat Sean Roden there. So
Can Dexter do damage?
Dexter can do damage in any show. Dexter can catch anyone in any show, and that's why they call him the blade and not the knife. There's a big difference between a knife and a blade. He is definitely dangerous, and he's definitely, still carries enough muscle when other people are off to look big enough to challenge anyone. So, here we are talking about, quote, bigger bodybuilders, bigger names, and we overlook Dexter, which is a mistake because probably some of the bodybuilders do the same thing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
They're worried about, they're not worried, but someone's thinking about Wolf, someone's thinking about Kai, someone's thinking about Kai, someone's thinking Wolf, they're not thinking about Dexter, and Dexter's, pumping up backstage, and he takes, he looks as big as, a middleweight in his clothes and takes it off and you say, geez, did he gain 40 pounds? So, he's extremely dangerous.
Right, so I'm going to put you on the spot. Give me your first call out. In a perfect world, what do we?
The first call out is Wolf, Roden, Kai, Dexter, Victor,
Rolly.
What's that? Dun, 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 dun. That's 6. Six. I'd say that's the first call on 6.
All right, guys. Well, we thank you at home for watching us doing this whole international coverage. Thank you to SciTech for bringing us out here. And from Chris, the technician Aceto, I'm Johnny Styles, rxmuscle.com.